Hey y'all, it's Cashmere. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm coming in with some new food for thought. This is my new favorite thing to do. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. So food for thought. Here we go. So today we are talking about you being your own hero. Your shiro, your hero, whatever you want to call it. This is for you if you're looking to start a new way of living. If you're looking to be your own sense of purpose. So here we go. So, food for thought. So I feel like now I want to start giving like journal prompts for the food for thought, like that. I feel like it'll be beneficial for people in terms to being able to apply the knowledge. So I feel like applying the knowledge is the most important part from this video, because it's like you want to learn something out of it and you want for it to cause great things for you because it's something that you're learning, right? So yeah, so I'm gonna give you a journal prompt at the end of the video. So here we go. So we're talking about being your own hero. And so food for thought, just of course, let me just really quick let you guys know. Food for thought for me is things that are, I could potentially be going through it in my life, or I could be seeing it occur often. And I feel like I want to come here and share it with you. Share like these things not happening, but like share these food for thoughts so that anyone out there that is going through something similar can feel safe enough to find someone that they can relate to and potentially, start finding a solution for their problem, because that's what we are all doing. I feel like that's what I want when I go listen to podcasts, when I read books, when I watch series, when I hear music. I'm listening. I'm looking for, like, I'm not saying answers 100%, like, I'm gonna let it be, but if something comes to me and it really attracts me, I feel like sometimes it's because you resonate with it and it's something that could potentially, be influencing your life. You know what I'm saying? So I can only pray that this finds people that can relate to the video, and that the food for thought, here we go with these people honking, sorry, anyways, that the food for thought is worthy, something that you can apply to your life, right? So here we go. So we're talking about being your own hero, right? And when I say this, I mean this in, you don't need to be Superman, you don't need to be Catwoman, you don't need to bust your ass, you don't need to do anything extra. You just need to be you, in a sense that what you're doing is adding to your life, and not only adding to your life, but you feel comfortable with it, in terms to you feel like, yeah, this is for me, like this is who I am, because we have 7 billion people in this planet, and the crazy thing about it is that everyone thinks differently. Everyone has different plans. Everyone has a different way of, I call it maquinando. It's of a train of thought, right? So like everyone thinks differently. There's no two people that think the same. So when I say be your own hero, I say, if you have a problem, whatever problem you have, we all have problems, right? Who you gotta ask, who you gotta ask, how you gotta ask, when you gotta ask, why, and what's the last one? Where. Of course, you gotta ask them all, right? You have to ask questions. The best way to get into the solution of the problem is asking questions. You have to ask yourself these questions personally. So let me give you an example. An example can be, if I am not happy at my job, right? If you're not happy with your job, you're gonna ask yourself, Okay, obviously, what is it that I'm doing right now? Okay, maybe you are a, I don't know, receptionist. If you're a receptionist, what do I not like about it? Who am I not feeling comfortable around, or where do I feel like I should go, or how can I make a transition? How can I change this? And being your own hero is putting in whatever it takes from your part to make these things happen for yourself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, through God, of course, through the universe, through however you manifest, personally through God, um, how did I get here, and how do I get out of here? If that's what I'm looking at, right? It could be something else. It could be your health. It could be anything. But let's say even your health. Let's say you find out, oh, you have something. You have diabetes, or even gaining some weight. You've gained some weight, right? How? What am I doing that is causing this, right? And being your own hero is stepping in and realizing that your actions are causing every single domino effect happening for you. Understanding that it is whatever you put of your part that is always going to influence everything going on. And that requires, drum roll, it requires self accountability. It requires accountability, right? So being your own hero is being self-aware, self-accountable, and understanding that where you are standing right now doesn't have to be a place where you're stuck at. It doesn't have to be a place where you're never moving out of. You 100% can make it happen. And sometimes I feel like the reason why we stay in these places for so long, I can't tell you the amount of times that I've heard someone like, oh, I hate my job, but I have to stay here because I have bills to pay, right? And granted, pay your bills, stay at the job if you really, really have to, right? But we need to realize that the only way these things are going to change is if we change them for ourselves, right? We need to be our own hero. We cannot wait on Allah. We cannot wait on Barack Obama. We cannot wait on anyone. Well, I don't know why I said those names, but we can't wait on no one to change us. There's nothing in this world that's going to change if you do not apply yourself, if especially pertaining to you. So even being in a relationship that you feel uncomfortable in, you don't feel worthy in, what is keeping you there? Who? Where? What? How? Ask yourself. And the more you and it's not to confuse yourself with asking these questions, right? Is to find enlightenment. Is to find the why. The why am I staying here? Why am I tolerating this? Why am I accepting this? Why am I doing this for myself? So with the smallest things, you have to be your own hero, right? And to bring it into perspective, even the smallest things, like I want to say, let's say working out, right? When you feel uncomfortable in your body, when you feel like, I want to change this about myself, I don't want to look the way I look in the mirror. Let's say I look in the mirror and I do not like what I see. We can't blame anyone else for it, because it's you, right? You've gotten where you've gotten, and we can't hope and pray that something is going to just magically solve our problem, right? Like, I mean, we believe in miracles here, but what I'm saying is you can't pray that your body, that you're looking better, or that, let's say you want to gain some weight, you're too skinny, that you're not, you're not eating well, right? So being your own hero is giving yourself whatever it is that you feel deficient in, whatever it is that you feel like you're not doing enough for yourself. We need to stop what we're doing, and we need to correct our path. right? So be your own hero in terms to applying these things that you truly want for yourself. I feel like it sounds very simple. It sounds like something that, like, oh duh, like, well, if I don't do it, then who? Well, yeah. But you'll be surprised how many people stay in a place that they're unhappy in because they feel like, well, I'm getting through. I'm getting by. I can't stress the amount of people that complain about their bodies and, you know, don't do anything about it. Me, I used to be one of those, right? And this is coming from experience, right? Like, at some point you feel like, I don't want to work out, I don't want to eat healthy. What pizza's so good? McDonald's, Shake Shack, we want it all, right? But at the end of the day, you need to ask yourself, how bad do you want it, right? How bad do you really want to change your life? How bad do you want, to look better for yourself? How bad do you want to feel healthier? How bad do you want a new job, a new career, right? And being that those are just significant questions that can build you, right? They literally just sitting down with yourself for a few minutes, doesn't have to be days, weeks, months, few minutes, and figuring out, look, this is what I feel like I want to do with myself. How can I get myself there? I'm going to start applying. It could be the smallest step. You know what? From tomorrow on, I won't eat past 8 p.m., right? It could be from tomorrow on, I'm going to put on a YouTube video and work out for 15 minutes. At least 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, however much you feel comfortable. So this is where we're getting with the feeling comfortable with yourself, right? Not, big point right here, not everything you see work for someone is going to work for you. Okay? This is where you're your own hero. You need to find what it is that motivates you. Because the minute you start doing things because you saw it online, because you saw someone else that worked for them, right? Because you heard about it, it doesn't mean that it's for you, right? Your passions lie within the way you think, within the way you want to respond to things, within the way you feel comfortable with what's going on around you or how much you can do, right? So I feel like that is one of the key points here of being your own hero, is learning yourself, learning what extent of what extent of you appreciates you doing what it is that you're doing for yourself, right? So for example, right, I have friends that love to go to the gym. They work out at the gym. Me personally, I built a little gym in my house, and I like to work out in my house. I have my little treadmill, my dumbbells, and I like to work out at home. And I break a sweat crazy, right? I've lost a lot of weight. I've found a solution for myself that works for me. It works for me, and I don't look for no validation from anyone else, right? So yes, it's amazing that maybe one of your friends likes Pilates and you don't like Pilates. It's amazing that one of your friends likes to deadlift weights and you don't like it. It's amazing that one of your friends likes yoga and you don't like it. It's okay, So being your own hero is being able to point out what it is that's going to work out for you and applying it, right? The applying part is very important. If you don't apply it, you're not going to see the results, right? Which is where you need to be your own hero. You need to be responsible for what it is that you're saying that you want for yourself, and then you do it in your own way. Because I can't stress enough how much society wants everyone to look alike, be alike, say alike, be, you know. We're in a world where, again, it's 7 billion plus people in this world. There is no two brains that think the same. So if you like working out at home, whether, whether you like breakfast and not dinner, whether you like dinner and not breakfast, everyone is different. And I've never seen no two people that don't think the same, obviously, do different things, and they get the same results. They can get the same results with doing different things, right? And we can even use wealth as an example. There's some people that are wealthy through real estate. There's some people that are wealthy through entertainment. There's some people that are wealthy through, I don't know, being in medicine, right? So there are so many avenues to get to where you want. And your goal as your own hero is to figure out what avenue is for you, right? And this is where we dive into purpose. So life purpose is a thing, right? Everyone has their own purpose in this life. Everyone has their own reason, their why, their etc, right? And I feel like we live in a society where we feel that because it worked for this person, it could work for me in that way. And not always is that the case, right? Maybe you can get only so far, right, with doing something similar to someone else. And obviously this is a social media society, this is a society where we're all bunched up in an app, seeing people do these things, seeing people buy these things, seeing people move this way. And at the end of the day, I feel like we don't 100% capture the fact that there is no two people that are the same. No two brains that think alike, right? So that being said, your purpose. You need to find what works for you. What it is in your mind that works for you. What it is in your life that works for you. It doesn't matter about listen, you have a man, you have a husband, a wife. Their purpose is completely different from yours. Which is why a lot of people also, I feel like, there's a lot of happy couples out there. We're happy. But, the unhappy ones, I feel like they lose themselves in the fact of, well, this person is doing this, and what am I doing for myself? You start comparing yourself. You start trying to find the common denominator. And there is no common denominator. We're all odd fractions. There is no common denominator, okay? So we need to live in that simulation that we are not the same. Even me, that I'm telling you, oh, this is what was working for me. It may not work for you. It may not be what you need to hear, My crew's gonna find me and they're gonna be like, I learned something today, Like, I feel like, yeah, that journal prompt, it hit. Like, I feel like now I'm gonna start looking for things that work for me and only me. And at the end of the day, that is exactly what I want for you to learn out of this video. I want you to leave this video thinking, what is it that works for me? What is it that I can do for me? My own hero. You gotta be your own hero. And this is where the topic is coming from. So find a journal, find a page, find a pen, and start jotting down. I mean, sometimes we don't like to journal. here's a perfect example. You don't like to journal? Do a voice memo. Do a video. Listen, there's a gazillion. Type it up. Do a doc, a Google doc, a Word doc. You know, there's so many ways to express yourself. Write a song, write a poem, write a book. Okay, there's so many ways to the destination, and I can't stress enough that I understand that we are all on different levels of our journey. We're all walking through different walks. We're all doing it in a way that hopefully, gets us all to where we want, which is a lot of the times financial freedom, freedom of, your time, freedom of your time, that you can do things whenever you want, at whatever, at your pace. Like, let's be honest, if there's one thing that everyone in this world probably wants, that we can maybe, and even then there's people that don't want it, right, that we can maybe all agree on, is that we all want to be our own boss, or financially free, or be able to do whatever we want, right? So being said that we can be that person, that we can get to that point, right? Do it your own way. No one's gonna come and save you. No one's gonna come and tell you, oh, this is let's do this, like, let's, yeah. maybe there's, again, 7 billion plus people in the world. So if you do find that one person, that's amazing, and I love that for you, and that's great. But at some point you will see that you still need to be your own hero. You still need to put in your own work, right? Whether you do it with a partner, whether you do it alone, whether you do it with your kid, whether you do it with your parents, your siblings, you still need to do it. It still needs to come from you. That work needs to come from you. And it sounds so simple, it sounds so so matter of fact, so like, this is such a food for thought. Yeah, it's food for thought, because you'll be surprised how many people in this world do not materialize that idea, do not sit down and comprehend that this is all a simulation, and you can make anything happen in this world. You just need to know where you play your role. You just need to know where your direction is, where your lane is headed to, right? Learn your purpose. I'm not saying your purpose is gonna pop up overnight. I'm not saying you were born like, oh, this is my purpose, this is what I'm doing, this is what it is, But what I am saying is, do the journal prompts. Write things down. Read books. Put yourself out there. You don't like to read and listen to podcasts. Matter of fact, YouTube, people read for you. They will pull out a book and read it for you, okay? I literally was listening to Think and Grow Rich on YouTube. Someone was reading it for me, and it was amazing. Like, what? That's their life purpose. You see what I'm saying? A lot of us would have never thought of that. Who would have thought, like, let me grab a book and read it out loud, and people are gonna listen to my video, don't even gotta see my face, I'm gonna make a couple millions. I seen a lady that whistles and makes hella money off of that. There's people that ice skate. You like to ice skate? Get good at it. You like to talk? Start talking. So everybody has their own path. Everyone has their own direction. And I feel like we need to all, like, yeah, and I get it. Listen, I'm learning it myself, okay? So I'm learning my own path, and I'm learning my own things, and I'm journaling my own prompts, and I'm doing the work for myself, because, again, you need to be your own hero. There is no one that is going to do it for you but yourself. But when you do things that you like with passion, if you don't like yoga, like I said, you don't like yoga, do the other thing, and go dance. That's a workout, right? You don't like, you turn on the music, play 5 songs, that's 15 minutes, and you dance all night long, and listen, you breaking a sweat. Next thing you know, you lost 10 pounds. Next thing you know, you lost 15 pounds. Next thing you know, wow, look at myself. I look good. And what I've been doing, I've been enjoying myself. I've been dancing. I've been listening to music that I love, you know? So this is my number one thing is do what works for you. Because people are quick to tell you, this is what works for you, this is what works for you, this is what... Do what works for you. You do what works for you, and you do it in a way that you have intention set that this is fulfilling your life purpose. That if you don't like to ride a car, you could ride a horse and you'll still get to your destination. Okay? And I can't stress enough how important it is to be able to find that passion in your life. I was actually seeing a podcast where someone asked the podcaster, something about like soccer, about being good at soccer, and the podcaster said, if you need to think about going to play soccer and it's not like it lights you up, it's, oh, I'm gonna go play soccer, I'm eager to go. If that is not clicking for you, then soccer might not be your thing. Maybe it's rugby, maybe it's football, maybe it's jump rope. Do your best to try it, to try a little bit of everything. If you don't feel that in that passion with whatever it is that you're doing, do your best to keep looking, keep doing research, keep looking out there for new things. If you feel like you've been, let's say you're a dancer and you tired of the jazz, you love dancing, you hate the genre you're dancing right now, try something else. When you least expect it, when you're least looking for it, in terms to, not that, oh my god, let me look for soccer, let me look for another sport, oh my god, no, it's not like that, right? Ease into it, like, oh, you know what, let me watch a podcast on rugby, let me look up, the rules to play this game. Maybe, it might satisfy me a little more. If you don't feel that satisfaction, if you don't feel that excitement to go where you're going, a lot of the times, and I can tell you this, a lot of the times, it's because it's not for you. It's because it's not really what you want. It's not really what you're looking for. But because it's there, because it's what you know, because it's what you're used to, we easily can be like, yeah, but I'm good at this, right? I'm good at this. Customer service, yeah, I'm great at it. I like talking to people. I like selling. I like helping. Oh, why not, right? But what if your heart is not in it? Is your heart in it? Is your mind in it? Do you feel excitement when you go do it? I can tell you that when I go to the gym, I feel zero excitement. Zero. Zilch. Nothing. That does nothing for me. I do not like it. I dread to think that I have to go into a gym. But the minute I tell myself, let's go work out, I step into my home gym. I do my workout. I watch my little podcast while I work out. I enjoy my workout. And you see it. You feel it. And when you feel it inside, it exudes in the outside. Which is another important point. When you feel it in the inside, your outside has no choice but to follow. Right? So, back to your sense of purpose. Once you start feeling this, that what you're doing is working for you, that you're enjoying what you're doing, that what you're doing comes to you easily, with ease and grace, then now you're walking in your purpose. Now you're doing things the way you want to do them. And it's not to say that, hey, look, the gym is probably amazing. The gym is probably a great place. God bless the gym, okay? But you know, what's not for you is not for you, and that's okay. That's all right. You don't need to be like anyone else. You're you. And that's what makes you the best. That's what makes you special. And listen, there's gonna be people that are gonna be like, what? What? And you're gonna be like, yes. Yes, this is for me. Like, you may not like tomatoes, but I love them. And that's all that matters. That is all that matters at all times. So I'm gonna leave you with this journal prompt so that you can start ruminating over what it is that you feel will work for you. So the journal prompt is going to be, in what places am I accepting the situation? That's it. That's the journal prompt. In what places am I accepting the situation? Settling. By accepting, I mean settling for it. Like, oh, I do want to lose weight, right? But that means I need to eat healthy. Okay, so what do you like? French fries? Yeah, alright, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get potatoes and we're gonna chop them up and we're gonna bake them. We're gonna air fry them. We don't need to get French fries from McDonald's. We don't need to get the French fries from Shake Shack. We can make our own. And I can promise you that it's going to benefit you. And you'll still be doing something you love. You'll still be eating something you love. It'll taste great. Put some ketchup. There goes your French fries. But you're doing it in a healthier way and it's working for you. You like burgers? Go buy your meat, patty it up, you know. Get some lettuce. Make it your own healthy way. You don't have to, you know, there's a solution for everything. There's a solution for everything. So in what way am I accepting what's happening? In what way, where in my life am I accepting what's happening? And then once we have that bigger picture, we're going to narrow it down and we're going to ask ourselves how we can change what we're accepting. Because there's always room for change. There's always room for growth. There's always room to be your own hero. You just need to walk in, open that notebook, write the journal prompt. In what ways am I accepting the situation? And it's going to show you exactly where you want to change and where you need to be your own hero. And I hope this really got to the correct people. I hope this really got to you at the right time. And I hope this really makes a difference in your journey, because I really and truly believe that we all can live a happy life. There should be, listen, is there mishaps in life, like things that you weren't expecting, things that happen out the blue? Yeah, of course. But if you're living in a way that works for you, I promise you that you'll be happier at least 80% of the times. Maybe there's a 20% where, you know, life just lives, because life is always gonna life, you know, you gotta accept that. But the goal is to be happy the most that you can be. So once again, your journal prompt is, in what ways am I accepting a situation? And we're gonna come back, we're gonna do another food for thought, we're gonna keep going, and I want you guys to let me know if this helped y'all. Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye. See you next time.